Welcome back to the Show Me Show podcast for episode 18. It is Monday, June 20th, and it's been a little while since we've been back on the mics. Had a little bit of a hiatus with some vacations involved, including myself. But we're back. We're here to recap the NBA Finals. We missed all of it, technically, since we've last recorded. And then a little NFL stuff, a little NHL stuff, as they're also in the Stanley Cup Finals, the Avalanche and the Lightning. Some Cardinal stuff, segments as well are finally back, and our 2 NFL wheel spins for this week since we missed last week's. And yeah, so decent show to finally come back to, and let's go ahead and get right into it.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the Show Me Show. First things first, Cam was right. Yeah, Warriors in 6. I predicted Warriors in 6, and they actually won in 6, which is honestly probably my first correct championship prediction in a really long time. Although I think I did predict the Rams to win the Super Bowl, but
Like before the Super Bowl?
Yeah, but I missed on the Alabama-Georgia. I thought North Carolina was going to be able to pull it out against Kansas. So, yeah, I've been on a little bit of a cold streak, but
I
found one.
I was just off by a game. I had the Warriors winning it as well, but in 7. So I actually, after Game 5, I really thought that I was going to be right. I was like, Warriors are definitely winning this in 7 games, but the Celtics just suck. So
Yeah, I mean, the Celtics got home for Game 6, and they were off to the races, 12-2, timeout by Steve Kerr, and then, the Warriors happened. So,
21-0 run.
Yeah,
Over the
longest,
span of 9 minutes.
yeah, it was the longest NBA Finals run in 50 years. 21-0. And then I think Jaylen Brown hit a 3, and then the Warriors just kept scoring after that too. It didn't matter that they ended the run. They led at halftime by 15, and the closest I think the Celtics ever got it to was 8 during
Third
quarter, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly, that's impressive, though, because
Yeah,
after a run like that, most teams will just lay down, but they knew they had to win. If they lost, it was over. So they fought back. The Warriors were they had too big of a lead.
yeah.
They were just too insurmountable.
Well, I mean, Curry was just playing too good. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, the Warriors didn't start missing threes and a bunch of shots until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I remember
Klay
there was
Thompson
a
had
stretch-
5.
There was a stretch where the Warriors actually weren't hitting any shots, but they were playing really good defense, and it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
Steph Curry finally gets his Finals MVP, and it was obvious. I mean, he was the best player in the series, so it was well deserved. And he only had that really one bad game, really, and he still scored 16. But he was 0 from 9 from 3-point range in Game 5.
Yeah.
I want to say. But it just didn't matter. I mean, he had a 40-point game. He dropped 30. No, did he drop 40 again in the
Game 6? I don't think so.
I don't know what he dropped in Game 6, but it was still over 30. And he played great the entire finals. He rebounded really well, especially on defense. He played solid defense, which is, what a lot of the big NBA guys, that talk about the NBA are starting to talk about more, is that really good players that win championships with their teams are the guys that find ways to get better on defense. And he definitely has. So Klay also started to show up as well as the series progressed.
Especially on defense.
Yes, especially on defense. So, I think the big takeaway for me was Golden State's role players just way outshined Boston's role players in the final few games. I mean, Grant Williams and Derek White, they just really didn't do a whole lot of anything. And Golden State's players did a lot of something. I mean, Kevon Looney kept crashing the boards hard. Jordan Poole, who it's just crazy to call him a role player, but sometimes it really is a role player, and he played awesome. The Game 5 buzzer beater 3 at the end of the third quarter that just lifted them to the victory pretty much after that. They had all the momentum. Big Mo was on their side after that. Just great play from their role guys. Draymond Green, even in games 5 and 6, was really good. Like
Despite
vintage
Draymond
Green.
Was terrible the first half of the series, though.
Yeah.
But
I mean, holy cow, on defense and on offense with his passing, he was really good in games 5 and 6. And now he has every right to chirp everybody online, which is
which is
what he's doing right now.
The parade's today, so
yeah, the parade's going on right now.
Monday morning, so they're having a blast there in California. But I mean, the Warriors do not win this series without Steph Curry, but they also don't win the series without Andrew Wiggins.
Yes,
so he was equally as important, I think. I mean, Curry was better offensively and he was fine defensively, whereas Wiggins was the opposite. Wiggins, I think, was more clutch. Like he's got more shots at the end of games. In the fourth quarter, whereas Curry did it in the first 3 quarters, which they all count the same, in the grand scheme of things. But Andrew Wiggins played amazing. He earned that ring, very much. So,
I've always liked Andrew Wiggins for some reason, which is weird because he went to Kansas, but I always have. And I always hang on to the stat that he has more career points than Kawhi Leonard. And yes, you can look that up. It's a real life stat. I always tell my dad that one, and it felt good to watch him play so good in these finals.
Yeah, he's only got one more ring to catch up to Kawhi too.
That's also true. Yeah. Well, wait, is it?
Yeah.
I thought he had 2 with San Antonio.
I don't think so. Because they just beat LeBron the one year. That was it. They lost the other years.
Okay. All right, so they beat the Thunder one year. The Spurs and the Spurs. No,
they beat the Thunder in the playoffs, not the finals.
No.
You're talking about the Heat. Yeah,
the Heat beat the Thunder and then the Spurs, and that's it. That's all they won down there.
Yeah,
which is weird to think about. Sometimes in my head, I feel like they won 3.
Well, they lost to the Mavericks,
which was
lost to the Spurs.
All time LeBron. Like if you're a LeBron hater, you just zoom in on that series.
Oh yeah,
against the Mavs. But yeah. Also, we got to talk about how Tatum was just super inconsistent the whole finals, and a turnover machine.
The turnovers were a huge problem. He broke the record for turnovers in the finals. First player to ever have over 100, or not in the finals.
Playoffs.
He's the first player to have over 100 turnovers in the course of playoffs. Now, granted, he did have 2 7-game series in there, but still, that's a lot of turnovers. I don't think he was like terrible. Like if you really look at his stats versus like a young LeBron or something in the playoffs, they're very, very similar. And LeBron wasn't bad. Just Tatum had so many turnovers, and it seemed like at the end of games, like when they needed someone to hit shots, he just gave up. Like he couldn't finish at the rim. He might have been tired.
Yeah, there's a good chance this team was gassed. But, I mean, he didn't even start in the fourth quarter in Game 6. I'll cut him some slack because, like you said, this is his first NBA Finals, but the lights are pretty bright for him. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll probably be back a couple of times in his career, to be honest with you.
I don't know.
I don't know if it'll always be with Boston, but I can definitely see him getting back. I mean,
okay,
he's probably going to continue to get better. I don't think he's maxed out on, I don't think Jason Tatum has peaked. And he's still a hell of a player, but
I cannot confidently say he will be back in the finals. It's so hard in today's era, more in the NFL than it is NBA. But to say that, the team's young, which it is, they'll be back. That's not necessarily the case because there's so many other good teams. You know? Like in the Eastern Conference, you're going to have to compete with the Bucks again. Maybe they'll be fully healthy this year. Then you'll have to compete with teams like the Heat, who are always going to be around. You're going to have to compete with the 76ers, whatever they're going to do, maybe. Maybe the 76ers. Who knows? The Raptors will be there. The Magic maybe will be up here pretty soon. They're going to have Chet and Jalen Suggs on the same team. Hawks maybe with trade whatever they do.
Yeah, I mean,
there's so many teams that
it's a grind. The East is a grind, I think, is what we're trying to say here. That's why it's hard to get back. But, the big giant that you have to try to slay each year for me is Giannis. So, it's kind of like LeBron all over again with them for the Celtics. That's one guy that they're going to have to find a way to get past each year, and I don't know if they're going to be able to do that.
It'll be like the Raptors trying to get past LeBron.
Yeah, impossible. But I mean, it's just like the Celtics. Celtics could hardly ever get past LeBron, too. They did it a couple of times, but,
And it was literally just LeBron. It was not the Cavs either.
Yeah, it was
just LeBron.
2018, it was literally LeBron.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
him and 4 other guys that occasionally made shots.
Yeah,
when they were wide open, when they were butt naked wide open, because LeBron was being triple guarded. But
yeah. Also, I know Jaylen Brown sent social media, especially Twitter, into a whirl throughout the throughout the finals with dribbling off his foot and his knee and stuff like that, and turning the ball over a lot as well. He's still a hell of a player. And he was their best scorer in this series, too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, he played well. I thought so. He played good defense, and he played solid offense. So he played like a star in the series, I think.
Yeah, but
he's just
they both just they turn the ball over too much. I mean, Celtics led the turnovers. Like, they had more turnovers than the Warriors pretty much every single game in that series. So
I don't think Jaylen Brown's a first star, though. I don't think he's like a star player on a team. He's a very, very good player, but I just don't see. He's not the All NBA type player. I just don't see it.
Well, I mean, you have Tatum, who was All NBA, but
Tatum needed to be better.
I'd take Jaylen Brown too. I mean, I don't think he's as good as Tatum, but I mean, like I said, he was able to be quite the scorer for them this series, especially from 3-point range when they needed shots. I wrote down Smart was smart for the most part. I mean, he played really hard. He played good defense. For sure.
Yeah.
But he did flop around a little bit, which I thought was funny. I didn't think he did that too much, but
he made some shots. He missed some shots.
Yeah, it was a pretty typical Smart series.
Brought the energy, for sure. He was the ball energy that was running around and causing chaos. I could say him and Draymond Green on the same court at one time is definitely a interesting scene.
Yeah. I'll never forget. I think it was game 1 or 2. Draymond Green was literally run blocking. He was going back to his tight end days at Michigan State and run blocking for Steph Curry on screens. It was crazy. I mean, but he found a way to kind of tone it down just a little bit in games 5 and 6 to where he was causing so much chaos but wasn't drawing quite as many fouls. And they the refs hawk him. They're looking to call fouls on him because I think. Man, I can't remember the stat if it was 17 fouls and 15 points at one point in the series for Draymond, but I think that was at game 4. It was bad, but
yeah, he was the first player to foul out in 3 games in a series, and 50 years or something like that. No, it was 20 years.
Yeah, I don't think the 50 stat was the 21-0 run.
Yeah, that's right. I think it was 20 years. I think it was 2000, 2001, something like that. But he is a troll, Draymond Green.
Yeah,
he literally had a podcast episode the morning after every single game. It was so fun.
During the game, one of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. He just at halftime was like, "Hey guys, interviewing in the locker room now." But literally, you'd wake up the next morning and there would just be a brand new podcast, and you're like, "How did you have time to do a post game stuff, get back to your house or your hotel, and then film a podcast?" He's committed.
Well, somebody was bashing him for it, I think, after game 4, and then he kind of toned it down, and I don't think he recorded during games 5 or 6.
During the games?
Well, during the games for sure, but I don't know if he had a show between the span of 5 and 6.
Oh, he did. He had won every single game.
He did.
Yeah, I listened to part of the after Game 6 one just because it was the championship one. He had a good interview with Andre Iguodala, and I saw like all the previous episodes and when they were released, and it was literally the morning after every single game. So he's a troll. He's also running around at the parade like a troll today. So
Yeah.
he
just had a
4
troll
rings.
moment.
4 rings. So
Yeah. Robert Williams and Al Horford, I said that they were pretty solid too.
Yeah,
Horford
for sure.
was really good in Game 3. He pretty much won him that game. I think he had 26 points in that game. And they took a 2-1 lead in Game 3. That arena during Game 3 was awesome. TD Garden. But Robert Williams, he is a stud, man. But
he played really, really good.
like,
Defensive
is fun
stud
to watch. Yeah, he has very little offensive game. But I think he was at the free throw line in either Game 5 or 6, and it showed his field goal percentage, and it was like 92%. Because he was just right layups right below the rim or basket and just dunks. That's all he did. So if he's healthy next year, the whole year, he has a great chance to win Defensive Player of the Year, which would be 2 years in a row for the Celtics to have a player.
Yeah, hopefully he does get healthy because he was hurt like the entire playoffs. So I want to see him healthy. I think I have the tweet of the week or of the finals. Like my favorite tweet that I saw, there were so many of them, but it was the one about Jordan Poole where it says like Jordan Poole hoops like it's a student versus staff game at school. It's so the way he just like acts after he makes a shot. You think like Steph Curry's bad. Jordan Poole's like that, but worse.
Yeah, he earned it though on the buzzer beater.
Yeah,
you know what? And I'll say this about Jordan Poole: there's another few tweets out there, and they're so damn true. I mean, one guy said Jordan Poole shoots and plays like it's recess, and all the girls just showed up to watch.
Exactly. Yeah.
He plays exactly like that. And it paid off, though, in the end. He played, like we said earlier, it's crazy that he is sometimes considered a role player, but he definitely was in this series. And he showed up, and that's big for him. He had a crazy development year this year. And if he can continue to get better, who knows? Obviously, I don't think there will ever be another Curry, but he might be the guy when Curry's done to take the reins of, the top guard there. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's time for way too early predictions for next year.
For NBA?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I saw something. It was this guy. He posted a TikTok during quarantine 2 years ago, or like right when the pandemic hit, and he predicted the next 5 NBA Finals winners, and so far he's 3 for 3.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
3 for 3.
Yeah, he picked the Lakers, which I think was a fairly common one, and then he picked the Bucks, which it's a little bit of a reach, but you can kind of see, and then he picked the Warriors.
I'll tell you this, once before like this is what I mean by this. Like before the season, I would have never picked the Warriors. During the season, though, Warriors was not a bad pick. I mean, there were some games with Curry. I was just like, wow. I mean, he is and Poole. Poole during the regular season was awesome, and I was like, man, damn, this is a good team. And if Clay has any glimmer of what he used to be, they're probably gonna make a deep run. And Clay, wasn't old Clay, but
he was good. I think even at the beginning of the playoffs, when you're looking at the Western Conference bracket, everyone was like Suns. But there's always the off chance that they don't make it. And it's like if the Suns don't make it, it's gonna be the Warriors. Like there's no other team that's going. It's either the Suns or the Warriors.
I don't even remember who the 2 seed was.
Memphis.
It was Memphis?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it just shows like I didn't see one person pick anybody else except for the Warriors or the Suns in the finals. And it makes sense because those are the only teams that really were built for the finals.
Yeah, I mean, the Grizzlies, they were built for the regular season.
Yeah.
And Ja got a shitload better than he was last year.
Oh yeah, most
But-
improved player
Yeah.
award.
But they didn't have
Yeah,
an NBA Finals team.
exactly.
And the Suns, I think I predicted Bucks Suns again, but then Middleton got hurt and Chris Paul. So did Devin Booker. Devin Booker, his playoff run is getting swept under the rug, and not me. No, Devin Booker, bad. He was not good these playoffs in my eyes, and he definitely deserves a good chunk of the blame. And and who knows? It looks like they might be shipping Ayton out sometime soon.
Yeah, he wants a big contract, but
we'll see.
I picked Suns as well, but I picked the Celtics, so I was.
Yeah, you were. I was a little. Yeah, you got that one dead on.
So I think I picked the Suns to win it all, but regardless, I forget who the guy picked because the guy that was 3 for 3, he picked the Nets in either next year or the year after. I think it was next year.
That's where he might falter.
Yeah, that's a risky pick. I forget who the other one was though. I can't remember. It wasn't the Mavericks. It wasn't the Suns. It might. Oh no! Oh, it was the Celtics next year, and the Nets the year after that.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was. I remember that now.
I think this might be bold, but I could see the freaking Clippers getting there next year. Clippers, and I still want to say Bucks.
What happened to Kawhi Leonard tore his ACL, right?
Yeah.
So he was out the whole season.
Paul George got way better in my eyes. Like, he played way better at the end of the season. He was not playoff P.
Well, he got COVID.
Playing P, actually. But
he was actually not playing P.
Yeah, they did.
Because he didn't play.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The COVID thing, yeah. But I thought Paul George held his ground at the end of the year. But that Timberwolves team was that was super funny when they
they had a bigger celebration than the Warriors did when they won.
I saw another tweet. This is another great NBA Twitter tweet that said, "I'm going to tell my kids this was the 2022 NBA champions," and it was the pictures and images from after the Timberwolves won that play-in game. And all the images from that, them jumping up with the fans and stuff like that.
Ugh.
But,
man, way too early finals predictions. I'm definitely going the Bucks in the East.
Clippers Bucks is mine, but
you're going Bucks, man. I could go the Heat as well because I think they're going to get Embiid. I really do.
Oh my God, I'm for that. Like I cheer for LeBron, but at the end of the day, I have no NBA ties. I really like the Pelicans for some reason.
Zion, because he's fat.
I love watching the Pelicans. I was cheering for him so hard against the Suns. That was so much fun. That was a fun 6-game series.
I hate the Pelicans. I can't. For some reason, I just don't like them.
I don't know. I like them.
Maybe it's New Orleans.
I
like the Saints.
When Jameis Winston shows up too and just cheering him on. And they have a solid fan base. Like, it's a little bit underrated. It's a weird market to have an NBA team, but they still show up, and they have an awesome arena. And
well, you know how they show up for Saints games.
Yeah, but it's a football. Like,
that's a football city. Yeah,
it's a football city, and not only is it a football city, it's a football state. You know, LSU, Tulane even has a good fan base.
That makes sense.
Raging Cajuns.
Cajuns.
Who else?
Louisiana, ULL.
Yeah.
UL Monroe.
Yeah, they're horrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, big football state. So.
In the West, I could pick the Lakers.
I have no faith in them. I have no faith in them anymore.
Anthony Davis is going to be back. He's shooting now. He's practicing off-season shooting.
We got to talk about that for a second too. Apparently he does this every year, but this is the first year that he went public with it. Apparently he only lifts weights and kind of just takes care of his body for, I don't know if he hasn't played since April 5th.
He's basically an average healthy human being.
Yeah,
in the off season.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Exactly.
Lifting weights and a little bit of cardio. And he said he hadn't touched the ball since the last time he had played. So like he hasn't gotten up any shots on his own. And this just happened like last week.
Mhm.
And the media berated him. NBA Twitter was all like, damn, LeBron really going to end his career with 4 rings after, just quote tweeting the Anthony Davis saying, I haven't shot a basketball since like April 5th.
Yeah, it was in a video. He was like playing.
He was on a pot or with like some YouTubers.
Yeah,
I think it was. I don't know if it was FaZe, but I don't know who it was. But
it might have been. But they like passed him the ball. He's like, man, they're like, when's the last time you shot a ball? And he's like, man, it's been like 3 months. Or something like
Yeah.
that. But he was being honest.
yeah,
That's the funny part.
and then he immediately got back in the gym. Like
Yeah, and he
after
like posted
the
it
media.
on his Instagram.
Yeah, and LeBron tried to hype him up with a highlight reel on, I think it was Instagram.
That's the thing. Anthony Davis is a really good player. I don't think some players, they don't have the dog in them. And I don't think Anthony Davis
He never has.
I don't think he has the dog in him.
Even in New Orleans, which I can understand, you're playing in New Orleans, and yeah, I just gave New Orleans a bunch of credit, but you're playing in New Orleans for basketball.
Just give him a bunch of credit, but now I'm going to slander him.
And he just felt no need to put his body on the line there. I mean, I always make the joke, Anthony Davis would sit out a game because his hair hurt in New Orleans. I mean,
yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself when he joined the Lakers that, man, if LeBron wants to win a championship with Anthony Davis, Anthony Davis gonna have to toughen up a hell of a lot. And he did during that finals run of the bubble, but I mean, this year he got hurt again. So he's very injury prone. And it's so LeBron in LA has been a little bit of the same, but he's also 37, I believe. So, it's kind of a little more expected for LeBron to endure more injuries, but I don't know if he'll ever win another one. I'd have no faith in the Lakers.
I'll have Lakers Bucks.
That series would be incredible. It's literally LeBron, Giannis. I mean, same, almost the same type of player. LeBron can do a little bit more shooting. But
Giannis is becoming a good shooter, so he's starting to.
Giannis in the playoffs shooting from 3 was kind of funny. It
okay,
was kind of funny.
Look at his improvement from when he first.
No, he's improved.
His first MVP season, he could not shoot to save his life, but now he can actually do it a little bit. So
yeah, he also
he's
needs
getting
to
better. He's shooting basketballs in the off season.
If he can become a better free throw shooter too. Giannis was missing a ton of free throws in all the series he was playing in.
So does LeBron though.
Yeah, so
that's his weakest. It seems kind of weird to say it, but
yeah,
because it's like the easiest thing to do. But
sometimes it's just not, I guess, for tall guys. But yeah, at the end of the day, I wrote this down too. I'm really gonna miss the NBA playoffs. That's my favorite part of the NBA season. I don't watch much NBA besides it, and you don't realize what you have until it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's for sure. We got the NHL playoffs though. They're still going on. Stanley Cup final. I forget where we were in the NHL season when we last recorded. We weren't in the finals yet. I think we were in. The Blues had just gotten eliminated.
Yeah, the Blues had just gotten eliminated, and Tampa Bay was still playing with New York, I think.
I think the Avalanche were up like 3-0 or something like that. I don't think they had swept the Oilers yet. But regardless, the Blues are still the only team to beat the Avalanche in this year's playoffs. And
I think we granted Avalanche, I think we said that they.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you're right. It was first reported.
Yeah,
on the last
exactly.
Episode. Yeah,
but they were still playing. The Lightning were still playing the Rangers, and it looked like they were in trouble. But
that's what it looks like in this current series. Lightning are down 2-0, and in the last game they
tough scene to say the least.
Train ran on them, to say the least. 7 goals to 0.
Touchdown.
Yeah, it's literally like a Broncos Jaguars early October game. 7-0.
Jesus.
That's the best way I can describe it. But except it wasn't Broncos Jaguars. It was
Broncos
was the
Buccaneers
hockey finals game.
Tom Brady must have had COVID. I don't know what happened there.
Huh?
Well, Tampa Bay, so they would have been playing the Buccaneers.
Oh,
So,
I
you
didn't.
know,
I just the
that would have
Broncos
had
have
to
a bad offense.
that would have
that's
had
why
to
I
have
said
been a COVID game for Brady.
that.
But one
Blaine
thing I
Gabbert game.
want to say about this playoffs, this is pretty much all I have on hockey right now, is somehow my Facebook is just littered with these weird hockey groups that post stuff, and it just comes up on my feed. But they all hate the Lightning because, like, true hockey fans, I guess, don't like the Lightning because they're about to
A dynasty.
repeat the Stanley Cup, which is we always talk about. It's super hard to even repeat Stanley Cup.
Well, I think the reason, like true hockey fans, like out of the St. Louis area, are rooting for the Avalanche because they're so good. The Avalanche are actually a really fun team to watch. Like, if it wasn't for the person who owned them,
Yeah,
gave their paychecks, I would probably be rooting for them in this series, just based off the fact that, the Kadri guy's hurt. He's out for the year. Karma a little bit there, but
so
they
true.
have such a fun line. They have so many goal scorers, and they have a superstar goaltender. And they've been so good so many years in a row now, and just choked in the playoffs. So this kind of feels like their year, and I think that's why true hockey fans are like rooting for them because they're like,
yeah, but
and
then
it's Colorado,
and then
it's a hockey town.
a couple years they will hate the Avalanche for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But like I said, these weird hockey groups are all hating on the Lightning because they got this dynasty going, and they're all rooting for the Avalanche. It's just all over my feed. But I hate the Avalanche. I hate Kroenke, and I really don't want to see him win. It would be funny if Tampa Bay can come back like they've been doing in some of these series. But like I said, Tampa Bay might be in trouble. Though.
Well, this was my
touchdown game.
I don't know. This was my prediction before the finals. I said Avalanche are winning the first two games at home, no matter what. That's just what they do. Tampa Bay doesn't really open up series very well. It will be 2-0 Avalanche at the end. I said that, and I got a little worried at the end of game one because Tampa, sent it to overtime, and I was like, maybe Tampa is just on a different level. But nope, Avalanche escaped that one and then obviously blow out the second game. But this game 3, I do believe it's tonight. This is where we're really going to find out who wins the series. If Colorado wins tonight, it's over.
Well, yeah.
If Tampa Bay wins tonight, I think it's also over. I literally think whoever wins this game tonight is winning the series.
So if Tampa Bay wins,
because if Tampa Bay comes back and wins like 4-2 or something, boom, they're right back in control of the series because now they know they can do it. They still have 2 other games at home.
Yeah.
They're a proven team, and that's what they do. They start off series bad, and then they have their backs against the wall, and then they're like, oh, we got to play now. And when they do that, they're better than any team.
Yeah, they're gonna try so damn hard to make it a 3-game series, to tie it up, and then just best of 3. Let's see.
But yeah, it is definitely a must-win for them tonight, because they don't want to go down 3-0. But just in the fact that they got to show something tonight, they have to show a little bit of fight at least. My prediction, though, while we didn't say it on like the podcast, I did tweet it out. Some guy was like, "Oh, if you get the score and the MVP right, I'll give you a free jersey or something like that." So I was like, "Say less." All I have to do is predict. I predicted. It's on my Twitter account. If you don't believe me, Avalanche in 4.
Yeah,
with Nathan McKinnon as the MVP. Now, Nathan McKinnon hasn't scored a goal yet, so he's probably not going to win the MVP. But
still time.
Avalanche, yeah, true. Avalanche in 4 is still on. It's still a go. And I still believe it's going to happen. I think they win tonight, and I think they win game 4. Now, when I said that at the beginning of the series, I got a few comments on it. And even my dad was like,
yeah.
The Lightning don't win a game? Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
You really think the Lightning are – I'm like, yes, the Avalanche are that good. I've been saying it all postseason. Right when the playoffs started, I picked the Avalanche to win it all because I was like, they're too good. They're too good. Even here in St. Louis, when they played the Blues, everyone's like, oh, the Blues could have a chance. And I didn't think they did. if Bennington would have stayed healthy and played that whole series, I think we would have had a chance. But I did not. Especially after Bennington got hurt, I was like, we're done. It's over.
Honestly, dragging that series to 6 was super classy by the Blues.
Oh yeah,
and was very impressive in my eyes.
I mean, we are still the only team to beat the Avalanche, and I do believe that when these playoffs conclude, we will be the only team to beat the Avalanche in the playoffs. And we did it twice, so.
But it all depends on Game 3.
You're right. It does. I still think it'll be Avalanche in 4. But that also goes to show, this brings up another point about the NHL. If the Blues are the only team to beat them, the Blues were the 3 seed in the Western Conference, and they had to play the Avalanche in the second round. The NHL needs to change their playoff format as soon as possible because it sucks.
No, I agree. I
You
make
have
it
the
make
2
sense.
and 3 seed playing in the first round, and then the winner of that has to play the 1 seed. That doesn't make sense.
No, I don't. I still don't get it. But
Like you have the top 3 teams, and only one of them can go to the conference finals, based on the playoff setup. That's stupid. And I know why they did it for one reason, and it's to get in-division matchups, and it was to get this one, the Pittsburgh Penguins and Washington Capitals. The NHL, when they made this rule, they wanted them to play every single year in the second round because it was such a big rivalry. Those 2 teams are old now, and they're done. So why do we still have this stupid format that's screwing teams and letting teams like the Oilers, who, while they played good, they're not a conference finals caliber team.
yeah, not yet.
And they showed it too. They got swept. They got bent over. It wasn't close at all. It was never close. And we're just allowing teams like that. And on the other side, the flip side, the Rangers, they weren't really a conference finals ready team either. But, that's neither here nor there.
The Rangers are
going
going to. I don't know. I think by next year, Rangers might win it all.
I mean, I'll give a shout out to them. They played hard. They, were 6 games away from winning a cup, which has only been done once in their history. So, but it needs to change as soon as possible. Get this playoff format just based on points, regular season points, kind of like the NBA does. The NBA does it right.
NBA does it off record, though.
Exactly. I think that's how it should be. If you have that many teams in the playoffs, that's what it should be.
So, yeah. U.S. Open was yesterday. Matt Fitzpatrick, who's from England, won it. I watched some of it. It was Father's Day, so Ron and Grandpa got to control the remote, and they wanted to watch the day game, Cardinals and Red Sox. So I didn't get to watch all of the U.S. Open, but the course, go. The golf course was brutal. It was tearing golfers apart. It was so funny, some of the shots. It just makes me laugh. I've really started to like watching golf on Sunday. I don't really like watching it Thursday, Friday, or Saturday.
Unless it's the Masters.
Watching it on Sunday. It's literally like Red Zone, but for golf.
Mm-hmm.
The last day, how it just goes from guy to guy to guy, especially the leaders once they tee off. I love it. It was really fun. Willie Zalatoris came close, but couldn't make the big putt at the end there, which allowed Fitzpatrick to win it.
Matthew Fitzpatrick.
Is
he Scottish?
He's from England.
English?
Yep.
Okay.
So, yeah. I don't know if there's been a guy with braces to win the U.S. Open. That's an interesting stat that I don't have the answer to. But, yeah.
It is kind of weird that a British guy won the U.S. Open. Like, that's the first time the British have defeated us on our home soil in a long time.
Yeah, been a while. Usually allies.
Pre-George Washington. Yeah.
We're going to talk a little NFL, some interesting stuff real quick in the NFL. Deshaun Watson is probably dead in the water. There's been multiple reports the last couple of days that the NFL is at the least going to drop a full 17-game suspension on him or the whole season. And there's also been reports that the Panthers, who this has kind of been out there for a while now, but it kind of heated up, and then it kind of cooled down as of about yesterday. So who knows that Baker Mayfield might be a future Panther.
I think the Browns are starting to realize that Deshaun Watson is not going to play for him this year.
Yeah.
And if he does, it won't be for many games, because his lawyer is not helping him out at all.
Which is interesting because you think he would have been able to find a better one. But
yeah, true.
I was talking to one of my other buddies about this. You know, it would be an incredible waste of talent, the Browns team, if they don't have either one of those guys playing quarterback this year. Say what you want about Baker. I think he's still a solid NFL quarterback that can win you games.
When he's healthy.
Like
last year, he was not healthy. He sucked last year. He shouldn't have played.
At the end of the year, Baker sucked. And he was hurt, and he was forcing himself to play because he's a dog. You know, he's a competitive warrior. He showed that in college too. But, you know, he was too hurt to play, and he shouldn't have been playing. But they're just so talented on offense and defense. You know, Denzel Ward, Grant Delpit, Clowney, Garrett, the crazy, weird last name.
Jeremiah.
Yeah, Jeremiah from Notre Dame. The Johnson safety guy. You name it. I mean, they've just got a great defense. And then on offense, you know, they did let Landry walk, but they
Amari Cooper
now.
Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb still.
Kareem Hunt, I do believe.
Yeah, and still have an awesome offensive line who honestly has been probably one of the best offensive line, probably top 2 offensive line the past couple of years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They got Joel Bitonio over there.
Yep. And they have Conklin now too?
Yeah, but he's always hurt, so
he doesn't count last year. So yeah. But like I said, I don't like the Browns. They're in our division, but it is, as an NFL fan, sad to see that team might have no good quarterback next year.
But it's funny.
It is.
It's a Browns thing.
It's such the most Browns thing I've seen since they've gone 0-16.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible that this is the situation that they've dragged themselves in. And the Texans released a statement. They're like, that trade's not reversible. And we're keeping all these picks. There's no way around it.
Basically laughing at them thank you for taking our liability at QB and giving us 3 first-round picks in return?
The future.
Thank you, yeah.
So
you single-handedly helped us rebuild.
We'll see how that goes, except they have Lovie Smith. We'll see how that goes.
And Jack Easterby.
But they do have Bills Mafia, but that's for another day. So yeah, we'll see what the Browns do this year. Another thing, this literally just happened a couple hours ago. Chase Claypool just said he's a top 3 wide receiver in the league, and as a Steelers guy,
this should have been in tough scene of the week. Honestly.
It should have been, but it's. I'm just gonna go off on it right here. I can name 3 guys in the division, in our own division, that are better than him. One guy is on our team, Deontay Johnson. Amari Cooper, not Justin Jefferson, sorry. Jamar Chase, and even T. Higgins, I believe, is better than him. Tyler Boyd might be better than him. It's close.
Yeah, they're similar.
And the Ravens, they don't really have anybody right now, but they've got some guys developing like Bateman, and that's pretty much
They don't pass, though. They run the ball.
Yeah. But, and the list just goes on and on outside of our division. Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Lockett, Tyreek Hill, Waddle. Maybe. I don't know about Waddle yet. Maybe. They're probably
Deebo Samuel, Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson.
Even Thielen had a good year last year. So it's just an insane statement. Confidence, sure, but that's delusional.
Who does he think he's better than? Because no way he can look at himself and Devontae Adams would be like, yeah, I'm better than Devontae Adams.
Yeah. Well,
no way he can look at himself and Cooper Kupp and be like, yeah, I'm better than Cooper Kupp, especially after his last year.
Yeah.
Those 2 guys, not a chance he thinks he's better. So everyone else, I would assume he thinks he's better than them.
Yeah. We've narrowed it down to that he probably doesn't think he's better than Cooper Kupp and Adams, but that he probably thinks he can make a case for himself against everybody else, which I have no idea how he thinks he could make a case that he's better than Stephon Diggs to start.
Yeah. Justin Jefferson,
Yeah.
greatest 2-year start in the history of the NFL. They were literally in the same draft class. And he thinks he's better than him?
Yeah, I have Tyreek Hill over the
Yeah.
past few years. I'm assuming he probably just doesn't think Deebo Samuel is a wide receiver.
Or
knowing
DK
Chase
Metcalf,
Claypool.
AJ Brown. Look, there's all kinds of guys. Like, how does one logically think that? That's a Draymond Green statement right there. Like, I'm a top 3 receiver in the league. So maybe the Steelers are winning.
Also, like I said, Deontay Johnson, he's not better than Deontay Johnson. And also, if Juju's healthy, Juju's better than him. So
Not even top 3 on his team.
yeah. Well, Juju plays for the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah. True.
But, yeah. Just an insane thing to say, honestly, because he's not. And we'll see this year.
However, if you would like to come to the Packers, and you could probably become a top 3 wide receiver then.
If you want to give us maybe some of the young guys you just drafted, I'd love
Like who?
to take Quay.
No. We'll give you.
I'll take Stokes too if you don't want to.
No. We need Stokes. Even though we did just sign Alexander, so locked him up a few weeks ago. Let's see. We'll give you.
Well, it turns out if you don't remember, you need 2 good cornerbacks. If you don't remember the Tampa Bay game and the.
No, we do. No, we definitely do. You actually, if you want to win a championship, you need 3 good cornerbacks, really.
Unless you're the Rams.
They had 3 good cornerbacks.
Did they? I don't know about that. At the end of the year, they literally were just bringing up guys from the practice squad.
But they were good.
They had Jalen Ramsey, and then everybody else was pretty much.
They played good, though.
They did.
Exactly.
I think it's probably the coaching, to be honest.
Let's see. If you're lucky, what positions do you need? We'll give you Jordan Love.
I don't want Jordan Love.
Yeah.
No,
Jordan
I
Love
thought
for Chase
about that.
Claypool.
I thought about
Yeah.
that in my head. I'm like, okay, they would be willing to trade. I'm thinking about who they would be willing to trade.
You need a QB that's developed and has NFL experience.
He has none of that.
Yeah, he does.
He played against the Chiefs and
reigning Super Bowl champions.
And they made his mother and girlfriend sit in the nosebleeds, which was hilarious. But they lost. And
okay, but it's the
offense was
Chiefs.
brutal. Yeah, but yeah, exactly. It's the Chiefs defense. And he did some shit.
He's got more NFL experience than Kenny Pickett.
Not by much.
And Jordan Love has been in Pittsburgh before. He's played in Heinz Field. Well, he's been on the sidelines in Heinz Field, I think. No, wait, the game was in Green Bay last year. Never mind.
I was like, he literally played for Utah State. I highly doubt they played Pitt.
No.
And Pitt doesn't.
I was thinking this year when we played the Steelers, but never mind. So, yeah, you can have Jordan Love.
No, I don't
Chase
want
Claypool. Okay, well, do you need offensive line?
Always.
You can have Dennis Kelly.
He does have SEC experience.
Yeah, actually, we might need Dennis Kelly. He had a good year last year. He stepped up.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
You can have Zadarius Smith, too.
Not horrible, but we don't really need too much linebacker help.
Well, he's also on the Vikings, so.
That's also true.
But, all right, you want to go tough scene of the week?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So we have multiple ones, I think. Cam, you can go first. Yours is better.
Okay. So if you didn't know, I took a pretty lengthy vacation, kind of as like a graduation present for my family. I went to New York, then Annapolis, Maryland to see the Naval Academy. Beautiful city, by the way. Then to D.C., and then to Gettysburg. But New York was by far the best. And when I was in New York, when you get there for the very first time, you realize that it's like a whole different planet. And the driving there is crazy, so you just take the subway. Well, we got our subway cards and all that, and we took the subway to the 9/11 Memorial to do that, which was awesome. And then on the way home, we got on the wrong train, and as we were trying to figure out the subway system, like I said, we got on the wrong train and ended up in Brooklyn.
Across
the river. And we were staying in 54th and 7th Street at the Warwick, which is in Manhattan, if you didn't know. And so, yeah, we took a train to Brooklyn, and we got out of the subway station. And we were like, okay, we're in Brooklyn. We need to take a train back to Manhattan. And we were on those two trains going to Brooklyn and then back for probably about an hour. So that was tough. But future trip or tip for anybody who ever goes to New York for the first time, it's a trial and error system. Even as a young person like myself, who thinks that they know they can figure it out a little bit, the subway system is trial and error. It can be confusing as hell when you get there, but you actually do figure it out as you use it. We used it.
Well, you were there for like what, 6 days or
No,
something?
we were only there for about 4 days or 4 nights.
So if you live there for a month, you'll have it figured out. Is what you're saying.
Believe it or not, so we had a tour guide on one of our days, which is one of the best ways to see New York City, by the way, is to have somebody walk you through it and take you on the subway and stuff like that. He gave us some tips, but he said, you don't learn every single station and every single where the trains go. You still have to figure some stuff out as you go, but we were getting the hang of it by the time we were leaving, which was nice to see. But yeah, just be prepared for that if you ever go there. And the marijuana. Be prepared for the marijuana smell at every which turn of the city, especially in Times Square. You can't walk more than 100 feet without smelling it or getting it puffed pretty much in your face.
Because it's legal there.
Yes, it is legal there. I even had some guy try to sell it to me and my sister.
Really?
Yeah. And there was a police within 15 yards. And it's not like he was, you can buy it, but you have to buy it from like a shop. It's not like you can just sell it.
Sell it on the street.
Yeah. So that was interesting. Back.
My tough scene is Joe Madden. So as we all know, Joe Madden got fired from the Angels a few weeks ago in the middle of a 14-game losing streak at that. But while he was fired, actually, back up a little bit. So they have a 12-game losing streak.
Yeah, he got fired at 12.
Yeah. So 12-game losing streak. Joe Madden's like, all right, I got to do something. We've gone almost 2 weeks without winning a single game. So he shaves his hair into a mohawk. And he's like, I'm going to walk into the clubhouse with a mohawk. The guys are going to get a kick out of it. And then we're going to go break the 12-game losing streak because of this mohawk. Well, just a few hours after he gets this mohawk of his, he gets a call from, I guess the president of the Angels. Like, hey, I need to meet with you. All right. So he goes and he meets with him. He walks into the guy's office with a mohawk. He sits down, and the guy goes, Joe, I'm sorry to inform you, you've been fired. Joe, I can only imagine what his reaction is, just sitting there with a mohawk thinking, like, fired? So this is it. Like, I don't even get to see the guys anymore. Like, I can't even just, like, hop into the locker room and be like, hey, look at my mohawk, but guess what? I've been fired. Just go win a game because of the mohawk,
I can't believe, like, in today's day and age, they don't let the coaches go in and say a final word, to the players.
Sometimes, like, at the end of the year, like when Joe Madden was fired from the Cubs, he knew he was going to be fired, like, in the last series. So probably after the last game, he was like, hey, thanks, guys, for sticking with me or something like that. But
I don't know. That's weird.
When you're fired in the middle of the season, it's a little different.
But back to what you were just talking about, I would pay probably upwards. I'd pay at least $5 to see an image of Joe Madden's face in that office after he got fired, just like his blank stare after he got fired with the mohawk. I would pay that much money. So yeah, $5.
I probably would too. I'd split it with you.
Yeah, we could go in together to get one look at that image.
Mm-hmm.
That would be beautiful. I'm sure they have cameras in the office.
I don't know. They probably don't release the footage though, unless they have to. But
yeah, I know exactly. That's what I understand that too.
And then he has not only that, but then he has to walk out of the office past all the people. Hey Joe, nice mohawk. He knows he's getting fired. Then he has to walk into his house, wait for his wife to come home from work, or I don't know if she works or not, but he has to walk into his house, go up to his wife, be like, hey, honey, what happened to your hair? Oh, I got a mohawk, but I have something to tell you. I've been fired. So I don't know. He may be bald right now. He may have just shaved the mohawk off after that, but tough scene regardless.
Yeah, and I would also pay $5 more to see an extra image of his wife's face after seeing the mohawk and being told that he was fired. I would like to see that as well. But yeah. My next tough scene is just this is not a tough scene for me. This is more of a tough scene for Jimmy Butler. Wiggins got a ring before Butler.
Yeah. I think the whole thing with the Timberwolves and Butler, I think he was more mad at Karl Anthony Towns.
Oh, yeah, I do too, because I've actually even seen Jimmy Butler say, like, Wiggins is a workhorse, but he just needed somebody to push him.
Mm-hmm.
And Wiggins looks like he can be pushed. He has a pretty straight face about things, but yeah. So, yeah. Also, another tough scene.
Oh.
Last week's
collective tough scene,
2
both of
weeks
us.
ago, I guess, podcast.
The audio was horrible.
It was like episode 1 and 2 all over again. So hopefully it's not like that this week. And if it's that bad as from 2 weeks ago, we will strictly go with the camera audio.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
But yeah,
I've been monitoring it periodically, so it should be. That was horrible. Like I was trying to make a highlight clip from it because you predicted the Warriors in 6, and I was trying to make a highlight. And I was just listening to it, and I was like, "This is terrible." Like, it sounds like we recorded it like 15 years ago. So
with a potato,
yes, exactly. Potato riding.
Well, this computer is practically a potato, but
does the job. Gets the job. All right.
Do you have any other tough scene, or is that it?
That's all my tough scenes. I just had one. I'm pretty lazy. I wrote it down like a week ago. So, but I guess we can go to Cardinals here.
Okay.
And then wrap up with tough or say hello, kiss goodbye.
Yeah, and then
the wheel spin too.
Yeah, the wheel spins.
So I'll start this one off. The Cardinals have played 5 series since we last recorded. A 5-game series against the Cubs at Wrigley, which we won 3-2. Then we had a really bad week of baseball. We got swept by Tampa, and then 2 out of 3 versus Cincy, but we're a Tommy Edman ground ball instead of a home run away from being like we just had a 1-5 week. And then 4 with Pittsburgh, which we played good. That was the Paul Goldschmidt, Miles Mikolas series, which we'll talk about. That could have been a tough scene as well, Miles Mikolas. And then 3 at Fenway, which we just lost 2 out of 3, but Boston's a good team. So the Pittsburgh one, I think, is the most intriguing one to talk about. There was so much that happened in that series. First of all, Paul Goldschmidt had a great day. He had 3 home runs and 8 RBIs over the course of 2 games, a doubleheader. In the second game, with pretty much no bullpen left, the Cardinals, Miles Mikolas, he pitches to 1 strike left in the 9th inning of a no-hitter, and then the guy hits a line drive to center field.
Double.
And it drops for a hit with 2 strikes and 2 outs in the 9th inning. So
Bader almost made a hell of a play too, but
yeah, he was just playing so far in. He tracked it pretty well. He was just a little bit offline. Even if he took like a perfect route to the ball, it would have still had to been an amazing play for that to happen. But Mikolas was running on fumes. He had like 130 pitches.
That's funny though.
Yeah, but yeah, good effort by him.
Yeah,
great game regardless.
No, yeah, that's why I would say it's not even a tough scene. That was a hell of a performance. Does suck, but that's
well. I
just Major League Baseball to almost throw a no-hitter, pretty amazing. Although they did score a run, so didn't they?
But that was at Juan Yepez masterclass. Fly ball to Juan Yepez, and he just lets it drop like 2 feet to his left. So, and the guy's all the way on third base. And then the very next day after the doubleheader, it was a night game, the final game of the series, and Jack Flaherty pitched. So he didn't do like amazing, but he's back. Hopefully this is the last time we have to say that because I feel like he's been injured a few times. We've had to say Jack is back. So hopefully this is the last time.
I remember talking about him at the beginning of the season, just being like, well, he'll probably be back at around this time.
Yeah, and now he is.
Yeah.
He was supposed to have one more start in the minors, but they just went ahead and moved him to the big leagues. So
Speaking of the Pirates, they just called up a stud, O'Neal Cruz,
basically Willie Mays.
the guy that just is so tired of being held hostage in the minors. He's so ready to come up.
Yeah. He has he has the potential to be like a Willie Mays. He is one of the fastest guys I've ever seen, and he's 6'7".
Yeah, he's literally
He is a
Judge's
speed
height.
demon. Yeah, he's Aaron Judge, but he's faster than Aaron Judge, and he hits home runs like Aaron Judge. And he's a shortstop, which is really weird.
Yeah,
See that tall of a guy.
that
playing
tall of a
shortstop.
guy at shortstop is weird.
Yeah.
It's super weird. Runs like a deer. Kind of reminds me of just like a typical NFL tight end today, to where now they've evolved into fast, tall guys.
Mm-hmm. Kind of.
So
Except this guy, I remember he played against us, the Cardinals, last year in a game, and there was like a 1-2 pitch, and it was like a curveball in the dirt, and he just like went to foul it off, and he hit a home run. Like that's the type of power that this guy has. He's literally has steroids in him, but it's just like natural. So ridiculous. Paul Goldschmidt is the NL MVP at the moment too.
yeah, running away with
Shout
the
out
NL
to him.
MVP. We've had a swing. Originally, it was Arenado running away with the NL MVP, but as the season progressed, it's actually now Paulie.
Yeah.
So
I remember the GIF from last year. It was Paul Goldschmidt running away with the
There's a new
2021 MVP. Well, the other one was better. The 2021 MVP was better because it was like him like running at the Cardinals spring training camp, and it was just like him doing a sprint.
I don't know. I like this one better. The one him running towards the brawl.
Oh yeah, the brawl in the Mets game. It's just him like leaping over the dugout and running. It's a good one too, but and then DeYoung may be back because apparently O'Neal's hurt again. Tyler O'Neill. So we need another player.
Gross.
Maybe Newt Barr that we call up. Maybe Corey Dickerson. I hope not. I'd rather just
play
never watch Cardinals baseball again than have to watch him. No, that's not true. He's not that bad. He's pretty bad though. But DeYoung, he's been doing good in the minors. But I hope that I never see him again. To be honest, there's just nowhere for him to play. So we got Brendan Donovan. We're good.
Love Brendan Donovan.
Dog. You talk about a guy that has dog in him. Brendan Donovan.
I remember when we went to the game and I was really hyping him up. Remember the other couple weeks ago? I was like, man, he is just silky smooth in the field and he's pretty solid with the bat. He's playing awesome. Yeah, I hope he can keep it up somehow. But yeah. Say hello, kiss it goodbye.
Yeah, wrap up the show here.
My say hello is the sports abyss. I don't know if I've mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, but I dread this time of year. Luke, not as much. He's more of a baseball guy, but for me, this is a really tough time of year. NBA over, no college basketball, no NFL, no college football. And the only thing left is this end of this possible sweep by the Avalanche in the NHL Finals, Stanley Cup playoff. So it's tough.
Yeah.
The only thing I really have to look forward to, because as many people know now, I'm not a huge baseball guy. I do love All-Star Weekend.
Yes, I was going to mention that too.
But another thing I'm looking forward to is FCC Media Days coming up in July. And that's kind of gets me ready to go. But, yeah, tough times for sports watchers out there who aren't the biggest baseball fans.
Well, even me, I'm a big baseball guy. I consider myself a baseball enthusiast. But even this time of year, it gets kind of dreaded out because it's the middle of the season. It's the dog days, right?
Dog days of
where you can kind of get lost. Like the beginning of the season excitement is there because it's like, oh, new season, every team can compete, and at the end of the year, it's the pennant race, who's going to make the playoffs, who's going to win the divisions. But in the middle of the year, it's just kind of like, baseball, Like if you win, good. If you lose, then oh well.
You have time.
Every game, like it doesn't feel like it means as much in this time of the year, even though it means the exact same amount. But Cardinals do have a big series with the Brewers this week. We're tied. We have the exact same record. So in Milwaukee, a 4-gamer. So I mean that's a little bit of excitement, I guess. That's a big pressure-filled division series for the Cardinals. But then after that, it just kind of gets, until All-Star week, it's just kind of meh. It's just baseball, The Cardinals, I did tweet out about like guessing the MLB All-Stars, and as I was doing the Cardinals, I was like, man, the Cardinals could have actually a lot of All-Stars. So it could be a fun week here in St. Louis. All-Star week comes because Goldschmidt's going to be an All-Star. Tommy Edman's going to be an All-Star. Probably Arenado. He's going to be a reserve, probably. Maybe Miles Mikolas and Ryan Helsley. So that's 5 guys that can make it. And maybe Brendan Donovan. I think there's like hints of him. And then, of course, there's been the talk like have Albert Pujols come back as an honorary nomination, which Manfred is not cool enough to do that, so it won't happen. But
I wouldn't want to rip off another player though to bring in Albert.
It would be kind of like when they did like for the NBA a few years ago, like when they brought back Dirk and Dwayne Wade. They just like added another spot. They didn't like take it away. Mm-hmm. It was just like an honorary respect moment. They were both retiring. Or like in 2001 when Tony Gwynn and Cal Ripken Jr. went out, they retired in the same year. They did the same thing for them. So I guess we just need someone on the American League side. Maybe Miguel Cabrera. Have him be honorary nominee with Albert Pujols. But, yeah, definitely an abyss. But it is summer, so you can kind of just do stuff yourself.
I guess, yeah.
Bored. My say hello is the internet. It never fails. During the NBA Finals, Steph Curry and Seth Curry's father, Dell, was spotted in the crowd with another woman. Obviously, him and
Sonya
have been divorced for a little bit now. So, he's obviously just remarried or redating, or I don't know if they're married or not, but they're together. But the internet put together the same person that Sonya, I think, cheated on Dell with was the former husband of the woman that Dell has now.
Yeah.
So they just did a wife swap.
They wife swapped.
Yeah, and it's so wild that somebody on the internet like went in and is like, they look familiar, and found a family picture of them and were like, look at this.
Yeah.
It never fails how good the internet can be.
Yeah, and it's a credit to Steph Curry to playing through the wife swaps
yep.
of his family.
I don't think he really cares though. He probably knew it already.
Yeah, so. But it's interesting. So yeah. My kiss it goodbye is this was one of the best springs that I can ever remember in my lifetime growing up in Missouri. And by that, I just strictly mean the weather this spring was really good. There was a lot of 50 and 60 degree days, and I appreciate those. And there was a ton, and I mean ton, of low to mid 70 days in Missouri during the spring this year. And we had our decent rainfall as well.
It wasn't too much.
Yeah, it wasn't too much, though. And awesome weather. So far, like I said, this was one of the best. This is the best spring I can ever remember in my lifetime growing up in Missouri. It ends tomorrow. Summer officially begins.
I think summer began last week.
I mean, yeah. I just
it's so hot.
Calendar.
Yeah.
Spring.
The official date
ending. But
that means it's the longest day of the year, though, right?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, thank you for a real spring, Mother Nature. In Missouri, we usually just go from a couple inches of snow to 85 and 90 in the spring. For some reason, we were able to skip that this year. So, yeah, and have a real spring. So that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciated that.
I do too. It's going to be sad to kiss it goodbye because now we have a hot summer, but yeah, I'm just glad we got to experience a spring. You know,
Yeah,
it was very
I
cool.
really like last year's wasn't that bad. Like it was a little bit more of a regular, like a normal spring that other states have, but this year was truly a spring. So that was really nice. In the past, I remember there's been a couple of springs where we've had plenty of snow and then just straight heat after that. So
Yeah. My kiss of goodbye is overrating QBs. Because obviously fans are going to overrate QBs, but it's now passed on to the players, in particularly the receivers. My first complaint is a guy who's been doing it the entire off season, and I don't even think he means it. I think he's just doing it to do it. Tyreek Hill. Every single time he talks to the media, they're like, "How's Tua? How's Tua?" He's like, "Oh, he's better than Mahomes." What? He's more accurate than Mahomes. No. He said something this week like, Patrick, he makes plays happen, but Tua is just a better QB.
yeah,
It just doesn't make any sense.
and he
to
also
me.
said, which is partially true. He's like, I'm the reason that Patrick's able to extend those big plays.
Mhm.
Completely forgetting that Kelsey does the same thing all the time. Just
Exactly.
not as far as downfield.
Exactly. And Tyreek Hill also just the simple plays, like what Tua does. He's a simple quarterback. That's what Tyreek Hill is not good at.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have the greatest hands.
I'm
So
trying to think when the last simple quarterback won the Super Bowl.
Joe Flacco.
Even he had some. I guess Tom Brady. There was one year that Tom Brady. You know, he's.
I think it was the
Tom
Eagles
Brady's more
year,
simple
or not the
in
Eagles
his
year.
later years.
The one against the Rams was pretty simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess you can win with the simple. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. And then also this, I think it was maybe last week, Derek Carr and Davante Adams. He's like, oh yeah, Derek Carr is just as good, if not better, than Aaron Rodgers.
Did he say that if not better?
Or
I
maybe
think that was added on by.
that could be, but he said he's like, Derek Carr is as good as Aaron Rodgers.
He said,
at playing QB.
I'm pretty sure he said Derek Carr can do just as much as Aaron Rodgers, like with the football.
That might have been it, which is simply not true because no one can do what Aaron Rodgers. I've never seen anyone do what Aaron Rodgers can do with the football, and that is literally bring off a nobody who maybe played D3 college football and then took a 4-year break, bring him back to the Packers, and then have him have multiple 100-yard games. That's a Jeff Janis guy right there. That's what Aaron Rodgers did with them in his prime. And he's going to have to do that this year with a few receivers because we have nobody. So
yeah, we'll see how that works out, honestly, with Lazard. But Christian Watson, I'm a big Christian Watson guy. So I hope he has a great season with the Packers and career.
But you have to also keep in mind that he's a rookie that never played FBS.
Yeah,
so and he's your number one guy. Then I hope he's good. I think he will be good. But
usually, at the end of the day, catching the football is catching the football, though. So you'll be able to find out usually pretty early.
Yeah,
but I think he'll be fine.
Hopefully,
he was super fast, great hands in college, and a solid route runner. So
yeah, I mean, hear this. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Christian Watson. One great rookie wide receiver after another. One of them just doesn't happen to be from Louisiana. So,
well, I think this is
the Coach O tree.
An awesome rookie wide receiver year. I think the one I've grown to be super excited about is Chris Olave
and Jameis Winston.
Yeah, with Jameis. Because James keeps going, oh, he's just silky smooth. And I just can't wait for that.
He is.
I can't. He is, yeah. I mean, that's the exact words that we used to describe him when he was at Ohio State. So I can't wait for that.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's my tough scene. And it's probably just going to get worse. Tyreek will continue to say things about Tua, and there'll probably be another QB that gets overrated as well. So. Just don't get influenced by these receivers because I have a feeling they don't know what they're talking about. So just
It
keep.
is interesting
as
that
fans, yeah.
we think we know what we're talking about, though, when NFL receivers don't know what they're talking about. It is interesting to think that we.
No, I think we do though.
All right, so it is time for.
Oh, do you have it pulled up?
No, I don't.
Okay.
So you go ahead and pull it up, and I'll talk about it. If you don't remember from a couple weeks ago, our NFL wheel spins, where we look at the team that was spun on the 32-team wheel spin, and we think about it for like 5 seconds, and then we have a minute to talk about it, about 30 seconds each. And to kind of get us ready for the NFL season coming up. We've done Atlanta. I think, did we do the Raiders?
Yeah, and the Commanders.
Yeah, the football team. Yep. Okay.
You have a timer pulled up?
I can pull that up. Yeah.
All right. So I have the wheel pulled up. I didn't delete the other team, so if we just get a repeat, then I guess we won't talk about them. All right. Here we go with the spin. Slowing down. Texans? Nope. Falcons? Oh, Panthers.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You have the timer.
Oh
Shit.
my. Panthers. Fuck. Okay. Well, if they trade for Baker, they might have a fighting chance for no, they don't have a fighting chance.
They have no fighting chance. Matt Rule's dead in the water.
Yeah, he's a dead man walking. If you remember from that coach's picture from a few months ago, they do have DJ Moore, and they do have some solid defensive players, but
they suck.
They're
non-competitive team.
Yeah, they're trying to develop Matt Corral, I would think.
Yes, exactly. Sam Darnold is crazy. He says he's a top 10 QB in the league.
Yeah,
and he can't even hit a receiver 10 yards in front of him, so he sucks.
He's horrible. He sees ghosts. And the reason why I don't think they even have a fighting chance is you literally have the Falcons, who are the best of the worst last year. You have the Saints, who were awesome until Jameis got hurt. And then you have the Buccaneers and Tom Brady, who almost went back to the Super Bowl last year. And that's that. 1 minute.
Yep. Last place team. They suck. They'll probably be at the bottom, like 5 team in the entire NFL. Top 5 pick. All right, time to eliminate them. And then we'll do another one just because we missed a week, which we may miss another week here.
Yeah, coming
due to more trips, so we'll see. And the next team, it will be, oh boy, 49ers or 49ers? All righty, San Francisco. I will start with this one.
Tell me when.
I hate this team. All right, I hate them. They own us. I had to tell them Happy Father's Day yesterday because, as a Packers fan, it's self-explanatory. Their defense is insane. Their special teams is obviously insane. Won them the game last year in the playoffs. Jimmy G, Trey Lance situation is going to be really interesting this year. I think it'll be Jimmy G to start, honestly. I don't think Trey Lance is going to be ready yet. So
yeah, I think fat ass Deebo Samuel is all talk.
Yeah, he's staying.
Yeah,
he'll play.
I think he is staying.
He's getting a contract too.
And that was a wild sequence, but that's just the new norm nowadays, is to act crazy and delete all your social media stuff to get a new contract. I think their defense is still going to be pretty dang good. I think they still need a little bit of help in the secondary, honestly. But they have one of the best coaches in the NFL.
Offensive minds in the NFL.
But we'll see if they can actually get back to the big one.
Tough division as well.
Very true. Very true. All right, those are our 2 minutes for the Panthers and the 49ers. And I'll have to make sure to knock those off to make sure that we know that we've done them.
I did.
So, yeah. But, yeah, that's our show.
4 NFC teams out of the first 5 spins. So,
yeah, that's weird. But, so, yeah, that's our show. Thanks for listening. Hopefully the audio is way better this week. Might try, I think, you're leaving on Saturday?
Yeah, so maybe a Friday show.
Yeah, my Friday show, it might not be very long because not a whole lot's probably going to happen between now and then. But
probably have a Stanley Cup champion.
Yeah, except we probably will have a Stanley Cup champion due to a sweep.
Yep.
in Tampa Bay. But yeah, thanks for listening. We're trying to get back to our normal schedule. Follow us on Twitter to get updates and see some other stuff on the show. Might do an FAQ this week. Some content for the show. So stay tuned on Twitter for FAQs.
We did one a few weeks ago, and it was really, really fun.
Yep.
So
yeah. Thanks for listening.
Have a great week.